What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Take 215.
What the deal?
My name is Deja. This is my dad, Ryan, and thank y'all for tuning in. We are at episode 6.
6. Yes, sir.
We made it to number 6.
Yes, sir.
So y'all make sure to like and subscribe, and wherever you get your podcast, follow us on Instagram. Have all that linked in the bottom bar. So we made it to. Maybe our milestone will be 10 when we get to 10 episodes.
That'll be our first milestone.
Yeah, that'll be our first milestone. Not first guest. We'll try to get guests before that, but that'll be like our first.
Yeah.
Our first milestone.
Yeah.
Y'all know what guests we dealing with black people. Y'all know how that goes.
Yeah, they might come, they might not, y'all. We'll see. But we might have a surprise for you.
We might have to start, getting some booking fees.
Yeah.
Send out evites and calendar invites.
We can get their debit card. If they cancel, it's a cancellation fee.
Right.
Like they do at the hotel.
Yeah, or like, I don't know. You don't know about when you get your hair done now. It's very complicated to get your hair done now. The girls, they want you to come with it already washed and blow dried. You got to pay $200 as a deposit, and if you're 10 minutes late, you don't get it back. It's getting.
Back in the day, they had people to wash their hair. When my son, when your brother had his shop, they had somebody to wash their hair.
Yeah,
and
some of them still wash their hair, but getting your hair done now, the black stylist, it's a travesty. It's turned into. It's a PDF this long of instructions. You can't just show up and get your hair done no more.
Do they do in the beauty salons down here like when Sherrod had? Do they be serving wine and stuff when you get your hair done?
Yeah, but it be hit or miss. It's sometimes, and I don't want to do us like that, but it's inconsistent.
Okay,
but just
inconsistent.
To get your hair done now as a black lady is a chore. You can't just show up.
And you got to have some paper.
Oh yeah. I got the last braids I had in my hair was $400.
$400.
400 cold ones.
That's the car payment.
It's a car payment.
Man, look, they better go to Walmart and get them walls. Hey, look, I don't dispute. That's a lot of money. Walmart. Guys, we can go to Walmart and get them. Them cheap wall clippers you get cost about $30. Do your own edge up. Boy, but guys don't have to worry about that.
Well, the haircuts is now.
It's getting high too.
Yeah.
And then once you tip and everything.
Yeah, haircuts. I think Joe was just getting, because he got braids or dreads or one, and so he just getting the line up and the fade, and that's still probably running about 40, 50. It's just not. It's not cheap.
It's crazy.
I remember.
It's highway robbery.
Yeah, when Mom used to drop him off at the barbershop. $20 a piece. But
shout out Quail. But shout out to Quail. Yeah, Quail. Shout out to you.
You probably giving Mom a discount too.
Yeah, because we was people.
Yeah,
so,
but that's anyway. I don't know how we led it there.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right. So we just want to thank y'all again for tuning in.
Yes.
Again, follow us on Instagram and TikTok. I've made all that, so I'll link all that in the bottom bar. So without further ado, y'all know how to go. Y'all know the rundown. We will recap the Eagles game week 11. We'll do some NFL league news. We got some Sixers talk. We'll do league talk for the NBA. We'll preview week 12, and then we'll close this thing out. So without further ado,
yes,
week 11 recap. Eagles 34, Bills 31, overtime.
That was crazy.
I was telling Miles that I'm aging in dog years watching these games.
Woo!
Ain't no truer statement been tweeted.
Wow.
It is.
That was crazy.
Yeah. Normally we watch the games together. I left.
She left, y'all, at halftime.
No, yeah, right after halftime. But you came in here, you turned it down.
I was antsy too.
Yeah. So
and then Carmela was like, "Why did you leave so early?" I tried to make an excuse for it. I said the plug-in was bothering her head. I didn't want to tell him that the game was tight. I said the plug-in is that plug-in messing with the sinuses.
It was. And you kept saying this one just got a different feel, but it's so crazy because it was the same game as the Kansas City game.
Yes,
same game as the Kansas City game. The same weather. Down 10 at the half. Like it was like almost identical to how that game went.
It was crazy, and it was the most exciting game I've seen this year.
That's the game of the year, and I'm not just being biased because I don't want our games to go like that. I'd rather it be decided early on or it be blowout either way. I don't want to have to deal with that. I want to know.
I couldn't even sleep that night.
No, and normally I can't sleep after we do like a Sunday night game, like I can't sleep. But that game was over at 8, and I was still
I like 1 o'clock games better. It give me more chance to decompress.
Right.
Them 4 o'clock games, man, get up at 8, I still be pumped.
Especially when we play a nighttime game. When we play a nighttime game, I don't fall asleep till 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah, man.
But
so
we 1 o'clock games. We ain't had none of those. We had one, and
but
we got
two.
one more.
We got one more.
Yeah, I was talking to Uncle Matt. He was like, all the networks they want to host. They want y'all's game because they know people are gonna watch it because y'all one of the best teams. So that's why
prime time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so to the game.
Okay.
All right. So like I said, Eagles 34, Bills 31. We won it in a walk-off quarterback draw in overtime.
Yeah.
So Jalen Hurts was not nasty. It was nasty numbers. He was 18 to 31 for 200 yards, even 3 touchdowns in the air, 2 rushing, 1 interception. He accounted for 5
touchdowns. Wow. Yes.
And
that was awesome.
Yeah, other side, Josh Allen, he played phenomenal. Josh Allen
played He'll never play like that again.
Yeah. He was 29 of 51, threw the ball 51 times, 339 yards, 2 touchdowns in the air, 2 on the ground, and 1 interception. And he also led their team in rushing, 81 yards.
Yeah.
And DeAndre Swift led our team with 80 yards in rushing. And then in receptions, Smitty led the troops and 7 receptions, 106 yards, 1 touchdown.
I'm glad it was a 99. Yeah, Shout out to Smith. Man, you doing your thing. The Slim Reaper.
Like 3rd game in a row that he's been.
Yeah, they've been doubling AJ.
After AJ broke that record, they said no more.
Yeah.
They said you gonna reel it in.
They shut him down.
They said we are not letting you beat us.
Nope.
So, but that's why you have a Devontae Smith.
That's why you need a good number 2, y'all.
Yep. That's why you have a Devontae Smith. Yep. So this is our 4th straight 3rd and 4th quarter comeback. We were down to Washington. We were okay. They're counting the Dallas game, but we were only down 7 at one point, and it was like a shootout game.
But it was at half, though, right?
No. Oh yeah, it was at half. You're right. It was at half. It was 7-14 at half, but it was just literally because they had the ball last, I think. And as soon as we came out, we scored.
Right, but we was down at half.
We were,
nonetheless.
Yeah. So it was Washington, Dallas, Kansas City, and the Bills. So this is the 4th straight game that we have come from behind at halftime. And I don't even know like what feels better, this or like blowing. What do you think, or a blowout? Because we cooked people every week last year.
I'd rather have a blowout easily.
Yeah.
But you know what though?
This is building character.
It's building character. It's a character builder. Going through this gauntlet, man. It's the
gauntlet they're calling it, but so far, I mean, they've been tough games, but
it's been a gauntlet for me. My nerves have been to a gauntlet.
No, for sure. But people have penciled us in to lose 2 of these games. I mean, 2, like these 2 specifically.
Right.
Like, and kind of said that the 49ers Cowboys games can kind of go either way. They kind of know each other.
Right. But I said
we was going to lead.
Before the gauntlet, I predicted that we would go 2-2. Now I want us to win. I want us to win every game, guys. But I was just trying to be realistic.
Yeah.
And I was like, and even though we do lose those games, last year we lost 4 games.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have lost 4 last year. Jalen played all of them.
I know, but what I'm saying is we lost 4 games and still went to the bowl. So, And so just because we're
going to the playoffs no matter what.
Yeah, because we sealed the deal. We sealed at least a wild card spot.
Yeah, not technically, but yeah,
because they know we clinched.
No, we have a chance to clinch the first playoff berth this week. I read it.
They told me that.
Yeah, it was some because the only way we would not clinch is if we lost the rest of our games, basically. So they're just saying that. But I read John Clark on NBC Philly said that we can clinch this week with a win or a Rams loss or something.
Oh, so the guy didn't know what he was talking about.
Yeah, because we all but have clinched because they said it's almost impossible. Like we'd have to like lose out.
So all we got to do is win one more game.
Practically, and we would be in some sort of fashion.
And one more game.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's or the Rams got to lose one, which they probably will.
Because they got to play 49. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. So, what was your key takeaway of the game?
My key takeaway for the game was my key takeaway from the game was it was a nail biter, but my key takeaway I got to go with
not star of the game, key takeaway.
My key takeaway is that they're getting on my daggone nerves. The key takeaway of the game is
the play calling is bad in the
they're
first
getting
half.
on my nerves. That's the key takeaway of the game for me.
My key takeaway was that the play calling was abysmal, and it has been for the past 2 weeks. But credit them young coordinators because they go into the locker room and they figure it out and they make the adjustments. So my key takeaway is halftime adjustments.
Okay.
Have been our lifesaver, and kudos to them because they've been calling some crappy plays in the first two quarters, but they go in there, and I don't know if Nick Sirianni throwing chairs or throwing pencils or what, but they go in there and
somebody need to throw a chair before the game.
Maybe, yeah. They go in there and they figure it out. So, I know we get on Brian Johnson a lot, but that's where I can appreciate him a little bit because at least he's obviously this is his first year.
Yeah,
but he's going in there and he's like, all right. And I do think that him having that relationship with Jalen and knowing him for so long, that Jalen is probably able to talk to him like an uncle or older brother or something, and they be say, look, this is what is going on and what I'm seeing, and this is what we need to do different.
And this is the first time since 1991, the Buffalo Bills, that a team has lost the Super Bowl and came back and was 10-1.
Ironically, the Bills was the last team to do it. So
it was 10-1.
Yeah, so that was definitely my key takeaway is I can appreciate the halftime adjustments because it's not gonna look like it looked last year because it's two different people calling the plays on both sides of the ball. Nick Sirianni has not called the plays, so that it's going to look different.
Yeah, I took that for granted. The coordinator's leaving, but I really took that for granted.
Yeah, and that's something that's so huge, and that's why I was watching Michael Irvin and he was giving us our credit, and he was just saying to me, this season, them doing it this season is more impressive because of the circumstances. He said they have two new coordinators on both sides of the ball, and he said it's like they played 11 Super Bowls. He said every single team is putting every single thing they got into this game against Philly. He said every team that they play is giving them all they have. So it's like we play. He said they basically played 11 Super Bowls and came out 10-1. So that was like a good way to put it because it's like how
we get everybody the best shot.
Yeah, Kansas City, I'm sure has felt that for the past 3 or 5 years.
Yeah.
They're getting everybody best shot because everybody getting up to play them. So who was your star of the game?
My star of the game, I got co-stars. Akers the field goal. Akers.
No, David Akers been gone. Jake Elliott, Jake the Make.
Boy, I went back to Akers.
You did go right. That's Donovan McNabb days.
I ain't lying. So Jake Elliott.
Yeah. That's it. That's the only star.
Now, and my other star is Jalen Carter for blocking that field goal.
Yeah.
I think that was a difference maker. That field goal.
Of course, it was a difference maker, but I'm gonna stick to just doing one, and it's Jake Elliott.
Okay.
It's Jake. I get that's definitely fair.
I can go with that, but the Jalen Carter that was.
Filling our laps, boy.
Yeah, so he should be getting defensive player rookie of the year.
Yes, I do.
No question.
Between him
so I got a cold one because that meant something to me.
It was huge. It was huge, but
the field goal just stands out
because if he didn't make, and then if he made, like we having a field goal blocker make, like that was still so huge. But I do think that we probably would have caught because we scored a touchdown on them. We only needed
and for some reason I wasn't even nervous about that.
What?
The field goal.
Yeah.
A calm came over me. So I had to
watch it with Mom a little bit. I had to watch all this with Mom, and I was like, I'm going to my room. I don't want to hear I was bullying it out. I don't want to hear
bully your mother?
No, I was just like, no screaming because her TV in front of mine. So I said, don't be doing none of that.
You was in the living room?
No, I went in my room.
Oh,
she was in her room, but she gets to screaming. Well, we all do, but her TV is in front of mine because I'm streaming and she watching it on. Oh,
so her TV's in front of yours. So
so I told her I said I don't want to hear a peep.
You're bullying your mom.
I get it. No, so she know like it.
That's how you gonna be. That's how you gonna be doing it when she get older. You gonna be when you be taking care of her. You gonna make her go in the room, put her in timeout.
No, but she knows.
She said you probably gonna beat her too.
She knows because I'm like I don't want to like come on now. So she's been. I thank you, Mom, because she's been mindful because I didn't even really have to tell her this time. She just knew to just try to keep it. But she said she turned it off. When Jake was about to kick it, she said she didn't watch it.
She turned it on. Okay.
Yeah, but I had my phone on ESPN, the game cast, so I seen it before he kicked it. But shout out to Jake because Shannon said it too. Shannon Sharp, he was like, it had room. He said he would have made that about 70.
Yeah, it wasn't high, but it was just.
But when it hit the net, like it didn't just go through and drop. Like it still had some distance on it after he kicked it.
Yep. So shout out to him.
All right. So I know we normally when we recap the games we talk all about the Eagles, but I want to start talking about a little bit about the team that we're playing. So I want to talk about the Bills. So they're now 6-6. They're currently the AFC is so loaded. They are currently out of the playoff picture. Do you think that they'll be able to get it together and make it to the postseason?
No, I think they're toast.
Oh God.
Long as they
wheat or white?
Huh?
Wheat or white? Toast.
Wheat, I just do the wheat bread.
So this is their remaining schedule.
Yeah.
The Chiefs,
the
Cowboys, the Chargers, Patriots, Dolphins.
That's 3 L's.
And they can't afford.
Hopefully they can beat Dallas. But
yeah, you might be right.
That's 3 L's.
They said this loss is like a deflating loss.
Yes.
Like it's hard to get up off the mat.
That's 3. That's 3 L's. I hope they beat Dallas. Yeah. But then again, if we take care of our business, I don't worry about who beat who.
Yeah.
But I think no, I'm sorry.
They will play Dallas in Buffalo.
I take that back. I think they're going to beat Dallas in Buffalo. I take that back.
Yeah.
And they might be mad because they might not go into the playoff. They might just play. I think they're going to beat Dallas on December 17th.
Yeah, we'll see. But I think that they'll lose to Miami.
Yes.
But they beat Miami earlier in the year, but that's a division game, so I think they'll split.
They're split.
Yeah. They'll beat the Chargers and they'll beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
So the only 3 hard games. They have 3 hard games, but they don't have no room for error now. Yeah. Like they need to win out and go 10-6. And I don't know if they're gonna be.
Hopefully they'll go on the stretch. We'll see.
Who do you think is most responsible for that loss? Josh did throw a pick, but Darius Slay was saying too. He was kind of taking up for Josh. He was like, when you throw the ball 51 times, a pick is in there.
Yeah. So who I think is responsible for the Bills loss?
Yeah, that coach is about to be out of there.
The most responsible for the Bills loss is the Eagles.
No, we're not. No,
you mean one person or just?
Well, the Bills are underachieving with the talent that they have. They're severely underachieving.
I know why the Bills lost.
And hold on, then they also did say that Shannon Sharp did say that he was like, I'm not so sure that Buffalo found a way to lose. I just think Philly found a way to win. So I do agree with you saying the Buffalo almost did everything they could do. But then you remember he missed. I'm going with whether you want to say it was Gabe Davis' fault or Josh Allen's fault, but that throwing overtime that he missed them wide open.
Yeah.
Something's called an option route. We sent an all-out blitz. Wasn't nobody back there but Darius Slay and Gabe Davis, and he missed them in the end zone.
But I think it was a collective group because they did miss a field goal too. They missed 2 field goals. We blocked one, and they missed one, and then that pick he threw. But we also threw a pick, so that kind of counts.
Yeah, we turned it over 2 times.
Yeah, that counts. Yeah, we turned it over twice.
So they said never in the history. This is the last fact I'm gonna give you. Never in the history of the NFL has a team been outgained by 200 plus yards like we have been and lost the turnover margin and won like this for the past 2 weeks. They said never in the history. So
fly, Eagles fly.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
All right. So let's move on to some league news. NFL edition because I'm trying to do NBA too.
Yeah.
All right. So Panthers fire head coach Frank Reich after 11 games.
Frank Reich.
Frank Reich was so pivotal to our Super Bowl run.
Frank Reich, big day night. Frank Reich.
So it says Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper appeared to be in a good mood last Monday. He stood by his rookie quarterback Bryce Young. It says this shouldn't come as a surprise. And Panthers have an NFL worst record of 1-10 and are assured of a 6th straight losing season since Tepper purchased the team in 2018. Bryce Young is the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 draft.
Yeah.
It says they did pick up star receiver, or they let go of star receiver DJ Moore, which I thought I didn't understand. Like you get in the young quarterback, put the pieces
and let
around
Christian
him.
McCaffrey get out the building.
Yeah, God, can you imagine? He probably Lord have mercy. Won't he do it? Look at
they didn't get that boy nothing to work with. Because they kept Christian McCaffrey
and DJ Moore,
but they traded Christian McCaffrey.
They got the picks though. They wouldn't.
They wouldn't have got the picks. They wouldn't trade Christian.
Yeah,
year before.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think they could have kept DJ Moore if I ain't stayed.
But my sources tell me that he didn't want Bryce Young. Frank Wright did.
And the owner said it. The owner said that they thought that they said it came out today that he said that he's standing by picking Bryce Young.
Who the owner?
Because he got to stand by it. Yeah.
But Frank Reich said Frank Reich didn't want Bryce.
Oh, maybe. We were talking about it at Thanksgiving. And they was telling me, they was like, Bryce Young is my size. Like, they was
and
he said that he can't. They said he can't see.
And you said that it might be too early to tell, but I still say without C.J. Stroud, it's I just think they made it. Sometimes you miss, and C.J. Stroud is better than Bryce Young. My opinion. Everybody got,
but you have to admit, C.J. Stroud has a better team and coaching staff.
I know, but I mean, just his stature, his build, is all that.
Talking about a physical athlete. Bryce Young is a small gentleman.
He's a small guy.
He probably can't see over the.
He's smaller than Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, but Jalen Hurts like 6 foot.
I know, but Jalen Hurts is short for a quarterback.
Yeah, but he at least in the 6. Bryce Young like 5'9".
Yeah. He so he.
I just think you should have said he's shorter than. Is he shorter than? How short is Kyler Murray?
He's taller than Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a hobbit. They stole it from us. Kyler Murray said the height. They stole it from us, my precious. Kyler Murray.
But today it says Carolina Panthers owner David Tepper never gave a reason for why he fired Frank Reich, but I don't really know why we needed a reason. We could look at the game.
It ain't no reason. That guy done fired 6 coaches in the last 6 years.
It says he still did stand by the team's decision to draft Bryce Young. Frank was.
But they got to.
Oh yeah, Frank was fired on Monday. Critics suggested that the Panthers made a big mistake taking Young over Stroud.
Sure did.
But that's like hindsight is 20/20, y'all.
I know, but I'm saying,
I'm not saying you, but everybody. Like it's easy for you to open your fat mouth and say that now.
Yeah.
But Bryce Young had the better, I think, collegiate.
But Reich seen something we didn't see because Reich didn't want Bryce.
Yeah. So anyway, he said in the case of Bryce, it was almost unanimous from the coaches and the scouts as far as selecting him. So almost, yeah. Emphasis on that almost. But we love Frank Reich. Frank Reich, if you want to come ride on the bench and come on
to be we just need you to be offensive consultant because and guess what? He ain't worried about no money, guys. They got to pay him $25,000 a day for the next 3 years.
Yeah, and
he's straight.
Yeah, because the same thing happened to Cliff Kingsbury that left the Cardinals, that got fired from the Cardinals.
He's straight.
He was on a crazy contract, and then he's so smart. Well, I don't know. You ain't got to be that smart. But he said, I'm not interested in taking another head coaching job. And he said he's spending some time in Thailand because he's getting paid. Yes. The Cardinals still paying.
Imagine getting 25 G's a day, y'all.
Just do nothing.
He can come and just chill.
Yeah.
Come on back. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see.
But
hopefully Frank can join the team.
I think that Panthers have a lot more issues than just Frank Reich. Yeah. And I don't really care, but I did not, even though I like Frank Reich, I did not stand by what they did to Steve Wilks because even the players, remember when the dude got fired last year and the black man stepped up, it was the interim head coach, and the players in the locker room was like, we want Steve Wilks, and now he's the DC in San Francisco, but the team rallied behind him and they went on that win streak and everything last year. Yeah. All for this man.
That's how that goes. Business, politics.
It's
politics.
Yeah. Anyway, so the Steelers had their first 400-yard game.
Shout out to Uncle Matt. Your Uncle Matt.
They had their first 400-yard game just like that after they let Matt Canada go.
Wow.
So, I mean, granted.
It's Canada. Why you say Canada?
Canada. Granted, they didn't score that many points, but
they were looking much better.
The pudding.
Yeah, that tight end was getting it in. I know Matt.
Firemouth. But the proof is in the pudding. So, do you think that was just kind of luck? Not luck, but
no.
The direct result of getting that man out of there?
I was talking to Matthew when that guy was coaching at LSU somewhere.
Who?
Matt Canada.
Yeah.
I think it was LSU, the college team he was coaching, and Matt was telling me that he had a anemic offense there. That's why they lost that's why they lost the national championship. Didn't Joe Burrow lose it? Yeah. So
Joe Burrow won.
They won it, but
maybe
it might not have been LSU. But Matt was telling me that his college team was kind of like that. So anyway,
they beat the Bengals 16-10. So they didn't really. They got in the red zone a bit, quite a few times, but they didn't convert every time. But they just beat. Oh, they just beat. Baltimore, so it ain't really not Baltimore. The Bengals, and the Bengals don't have a quarterback.
They didn't have a quarterback, so we'll see how they do the next game. We'll see how Pittsburgh do the next game.
And but I just do think it's very, very glaring that as soon as Matt is
the yards don't lie because it didn't happen to Cincinnati defense.
No,
it was just the quarterback, but the defense was a defense.
And I think they were doing different. Just from watching it, I've not watched every Steelers game, but just from watching it, I saw the difference in some of the things that they were calling with the quarterback, with the
especially started using the tight end.
The tight end more.
They had a good offensive game.
Yeah,
I have to give them that.
Yeah, so I guess we'll stay in the AFC. So you still thinking right now that the Ravens they beat the Chargers. It was a very low scoring game.
Yeah, the AFC, I'm going with
AFC is stacked.
So how many games of the Baltimore lost?
Baltimore's 9-3.
And so was Kansas City.
No, because Baltimore ain't had their bye yet. Baltimore's bye is this week. Kansas City is
how many games they lost?
Kansas City 3, but Kansas City is 8-3 and Baltimore's 9-3.
Right, so I'm talking about the loss column. They're just saying.
Yeah, but
so I'm still going with Kansas City coming out.
Yeah, Baltimore will go on a bye this week, and then it'll all even out. I think the last set of byes is this week.
Right, but in the loss column, but do they play each other? Kansas City and Baltimore? No,
but I wish they did. I think no, they don't. So that's gonna we gonna get that good matchup in the playoffs. Baltimore plays coming out there after the bye. They have the Rams, the Jaguars, 49ers, the Dolphins, and the Steelers.
So now Baltimore fighting for home field with Kansas City.
Yeah, which I think Baltimore are gonna get it because Baltimore has the only tough game really left on Baltimore's schedule. And I know 49ers. Division games go either way, but ain't nobody playing quarterback in their division no more besides the Steelers got them last time.
Right, but Baltimore got a tough game against 49ers.
Hopefully they can do it,
That's it.
Yeah, so
we'll see.
But I just the AFC, is loaded. Like if
I give the edge to Kansas City.
Miami is 8-3, Ravens 9-3, Pittsburgh 7-4, Cleveland 7-4, Jaguars 8-3. Colts and the Texans are both 6-5. Kansas City's 8-3, and shout out to Denver Broncos on a 5-game win streak. They 6-5, right back in it.
And Devontae Williams from Wallace.
Oh yeah, so they right back in it. Whereas the NFC is a little.
So we'll see. Kansas City could drop another one, but so I might give Baltimore the little edge because Kansas City been suspect sometimes.
Yeah,
but we'll see. But Kansas City's schedule is like a cakewalk.
Yeah, it does. And then kind of wrapping up league news. So the MVP race, are you going to be biased and say your MVP is Jalen Hurts? He right now is favorited. So it's Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott. Because Dak Prescott, he been playing bad teams, but he been balling.
His numbers been showing.
Yeah. So it's Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott. I believe Lamar Jackson, and then Brock Purdy.
Right now, I would give up to Jalen because of the record, but Dak numbers are impressive.
I'm still not giving it to. Even if I didn't go Jalen, it would be Lamar, or it would be Lamar. I think Lamar would be a little bit higher for me.
Yeah.
And I do understand the frustration in it being a quarterback award because what about Tyreek Hill? What about AJ Brown?
Yeah.
AJ Brown's been a little bit quiet these last two.
So he I think he fell off. Not unless he pick it back up.
No, he's still because it's just 2 games. And it's so and he had a touchdown last Sunday against the Bills. He's still
he due for a breakout game.
Yeah, regardless, we know it's never going to a receiver.
Yeah,
I understand. Why is it a quarterback award? But a quarterback is just the most important position. I don't care if you have Jerry Rice on your team, and if you got
Keisha said it. Jerry Rice ain't never get it.
Yeah, Jerry Rice never got it. It's just a quarterback.
Randy Moss ain't never get it.
Yeah, but it's even if you have that receiver, if you don't have a quarterback that can get them a ball, none of that even matters.
Yeah.
So, if I had to pick Tua over Tyreek, it's Tyreek because Tyreek. The yards after the catch is what's got him about to be a 2,000-yard receiver.
And people argue about that for the last 20 years. But
it's going to be a quarterback.
It's going to be a quarterback. Just say which quarterback going to get the MVP.
Yeah, and they do have that's why they have Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, stuff like
those
that.
Other, but it's always.
Well, it is bogus, though, but that's how the league is made
because the quarterback is the live and die position.
Yeah.
If your quarterback go down and you got all these weapons on your team and the backup can't get it to him, it really don't even matter.
It don't matter.
But yeah, so let's move right on to some Sixers talk. We both got on our Sixers gear today.
The answer.
All right. So the Sixers last night, they and handed the Lakers their worst loss in franchise history to beat them by 44
They
points.
put the thing on them, y'all. That wasn't even fair.
Joel Embiid had a triple-double in 3 quarters. He didn't even play in the fourth quarter. He had a triple-double.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Maxey had 30.
Huh?
Maxey
had 30. Yeah. So let me pull up this box score. So it was 94 to 138.
Wow.
LeBron James had 18 points. He led their team in 18 points. Maxey led our team with 31. We could not miss from 3.
22 out of what?
20. We were 47%. That means like we were almost 50% from 3. But as far as how many we took,
it was 22 out of something.
We took 46 and made 22, and we was 47.8%. We shot 50% from the floor. Like we couldn't miss.
And that was the worst Lakers loss in Lakers history.
Yeah. LeBron James was very aggravated after the game.
So what do you need to change? A lot.
Yeah.
What do you need to change? A lot.
He said, what do you, he said, I know what I need to do. He said, but I don't know what, like, he was kind of like saying, you need to go ask what other people need to fix, because I know somebody
in trouble.
Yeah. Somebody better start packing.
Somebody better start packing and find your kids another school.
Yes.
to go to,
because
contacting the realtor, because somebody is out of there.
LeBron James in Rob Pelinka office this morning saying, I want him and him out of here.
Out of here.
But I feel like he probably, I mean, he knew they were going to not win.
But they got they got some injuries too. Hirachi. What's the name, like the Nike sneaker? Hirachi.
It's Hachimura.
I call it Hirachi, like the sneaker.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Pat Bev, he was up trying to, kind of, that's his old team.
He was talking junk to him too.
He gave AR-15 a little taste of his own medicine. But I think that having somebody like Patrick Beverley on your team,
you need that dog.
The game. He hit, whether you hate his antics or not. I was kind of like, when we got him, I was like, oh my god.
I love that dude personality.
Yeah, he's fun. His podcast is good too.
Yeah.
And then hometown kid Marcus Morris, he had a pretty good
game. He had 16 points.
Yeah, he couldn't. Somebody tweeted, they said, oh my god, the Lakers did turn Patrick Beverley and Marcus Morris into the Splash Brothers because they couldn't miss from 3. So it was a good game.
Yeah.
It's still early, of course, but
it's still early. But I'm glad this team is gelling, and guys,
it's fun to watch too. Last year they got on my nerves bad.
Yeah, and they still have a chance to get somebody in the trade. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't know, but somebody said they might not mess with it. We'll see,
because it's.
I think they still need one more piece.
It's gelling, and that's so moving on to what I was going to say next. How do you think that the Maxey Embiid duo is something that could stand, like being in the playoffs in the East, going against Dame and Giannis, and going against Jalen and JT?
And Tobias, I think I'm saying this thing might work out, because the Kelly Oubre come back yet?
He was on the bench, so. This was his first game back, like on the bench, but he was not dressed or anything.
So we might, and the games that we lost, both of him and Batum didn't play one game.
Joel didn't play one of the games. Joel didn't play one of the games.
And then Batum didn't play the other one.
Yeah.
And then without Kelly Oubre, so I don't know. So I guess. I don't know, should we go for a trade or not? But I know,
because the team is gelling.
The team is gelling. Because if they trade, they got to get rid of some of the pieces that they got.
And that's shout out too to Nick Nurse, because if Doc Rivers was there, wouldn't.
So I don't know. They might just leave it alone.
Yeah.
But I'm saying they will bring somebody in if they could just do draft picks and get some. But our role players are so good. You know what I mean?
And I think that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Dame is not going to stay healthy throughout the duration. That's been one of his issues anyway. And then Jaylen Brown is very inconsistent. Like, he's very inconsistent. Like, at one point, I think last year led the league in turn. Like, so Jaylen Brown Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum can be... Like, they can be brought back down to being a human. Like, I've seen it before, because we were so close to beating them in games like last season, that series. But James Harden went out there and scored 7 funky points, and so did Joel.
Yeah,
so that wasn't never going to win that game. We should have won that game.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I just was thinking,
I think the two do. It's possible without supporting cast, and then Tobias, Toby been playing pretty good.
Yeah, he's been pretty consistent
as of late.
Yeah, be that so,
So I don't know. It's possible. It's still too early for me to tell. After the All-Star break, I can see what their record look like, and then I can get a better feel
right now
of when Kelly Oubre come back and all that.
12-5.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do a little bit of NBA league talk. So we was just in here talking about Scott Foster and the Chris Paul situation.
Yeah.
So obviously, Chris Paul and Scott Foster have a very long-standing beef that has been very known throughout the NBA community and everything like that.
Right.
Chris Paul, if Scott Foster is reffing a game that Chris Paul is playing, you better tune in because it's going to be some theatrics, and Chris Paul probably will not be finishing the game because he will probably be ejected.
Get ejected.
Yeah, so there's been a little bit of kickback on it now. Obviously, you saw the incident that happened. It was the Warriors were playing the Suns, and Scott Foster ejected Chris Paul at the press conference after the fact. Chris said it's personal. The league knows about the situation. They've had conversations and something to do with his son, which I can't imagine what the man would have said, but whatever. My thing is I think that, okay, Chris Paul is 3-17.
Wow.
When this man refs his games, I think that's glaring. That's postseason and regular season. I think it's 3-17. I just feel like, don't you feel like the NBA should just be like, all right, enough. You just not reffing no more of these games, or is that too like catering towards Chris Paul too much? It
might be catering to the players because it ain't the league is not just about one person.
Probably randomized who.
Right, and I don't know how to do it in the NBA, but a lot of times when I used to ref, is sometimes it could be a pool, it could be somebody that's a seasoned vet to get more games than the younger referees. It's a lot to go into who be at the games and not, especially if they're big games.
Don't you think that the NBA could just be like, just to put get a resolution,
just to diffuse it.
Just
they might say, okay, don't even. So like we don't have to get no blowback.
About to line up on the schedule, and I know Chris Paul's moved teams, so it's probably a lot to like.
Right.
And so I'm pretty sure that stuff is pre-done.
They could do that.
But just to avoid it, like so that way he can't.
But at some point, I don't know.
Some of the flameouts that Chris Paul's been a part of, Scott Foster has called those games, and I'm not saying that he's. Obviously he can only control the game but so much, but there's been some very glaring calls. Or it's like him getting ejected, like, or texts or stuff like that. So I don't know, like I ain't never really heard
but only way you can get a check, I used to ref a little bit, and the only way you can get a check if you keep on running your mouth.
But
if you don't say nothing,
but
they can't give you no check.
Boy over here run his mouth a little bit more, you got a little bit more patience for this person because you like him or you don't have any qualms with him.
Right.
But if you already got a tip with this person, the slightest thing going.
Right. So that means if I was Chris, if I want my team to win, I got to take one for the team and just don't say nothing to the dude.
I just think that they just need to quit it. Like, stop it. Just stop letting there's enough power and people and things that can go on behind the scenes where Adam Silver can just be like, all right, bro.
Enough is enough.
We ain't going to have you ref this man games no more because I'm
right. That would be the smart thing to do.
And then Westbrook got into it with a fan last night too. Okay. Russell Westbrook got into a fight yesterday with a verbal spat with a with a fan, and he's quick to get a fan together. And then of course on Sunday the Bills Shaq, not what was his name, just Shaq Lawson.
Shaq Lawson from the Bills
shoved a Eagles fan, and who knows what the Eagles fan was saying. Lord have mercy.
But I saw a video where the guy said he was sitting right next to him, and he was just calling the guy trash all night long,
stuff like that.
He said he didn't say anything to threaten him, anything like that.
So, where do you stand on like? They're human beings, like, because some people would be like, oh, they make $1 million, they need to shut up and take what I say. But like, I think talking about their wives, talking about their children, talking about their family, I think that is pushing it. If you want to talk about how awful they are on the court,
it is pushing it, and that is Philadelphia, and that's what they do. I mean, fans.
But it also happened or wherever Westbrook was paying too.
Yeah, so you got to have thick skin. But I don't condone somebody saying something about your parents or your wives or your children. That's something different. Yeah. But guys, stuff like that happen. People be drinking, they be high.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and stuff like that.
I don't excuse it, but I see both sides. People are like, oh, they just need to be quiet, shut up. They're getting paid $1 millions, but like. they're still human beings, and it's not like you just because you pay your money. And it's a lot of money because these be people sitting close to sit that close up on them. Don't mean you can say anything and throw things like, because would you do that to them if you saw them on the street?
That ain't nothing. Look, I used to coach a rec league, and the rec league is worse than the NBA. Them parents.
Oh yeah.
My. Them parents will go off. I used to just sit and laugh at them and turn my back and laugh. So you got to have thick skin when you playing games in public like that, because you might hear all kinds of stuff. I'm not saying I'm condoning it, but I laugh at it. When I used to be refereeing, I'll laugh at them.
Yeah, and I think that they're and as long as like who was it, Keyshawn was saying, as long as you don't call me the N-word, as long as you don't
not race anything like that.
Like he said, I don't care what they're saying. He said, I don't care. They're talking
me
about.
either.
Said,
but everybody,
because you just go out there and you just play.
Yeah, everybody, Kevin Durant can't take that type of stuff either.
No.
And so some people just have thin skin when it comes to people heckling them.
So yeah, I feel the same about the players and dealing with the heckling. I think there's a line. It can be fun and games and competitive and stuff like that, but I do think you gotta, certain things shouldn't be said because you wouldn't say that to them on the street.
Yeah, exactly. So, but most importantly, if you go up in the stands, you're gonna be writing the check. So you have to be real cautious.
Malice at the palace, don't forget.
Yeah, the malice at the palace. Yeah, sometimes people run up in them stands, but at the end of the day, it's not worth it. If somebody just running their mouth, it's not worth it.
But
it's not.
All right, getting into Week 12, Eagles-Niners preview.
Yes.
We are a 3-point underdog at home, so that basically means we are a 6-point dog because they give you points for being at home anyway. Right. So, Vegas think we're gonna lose by a touchdown, which doesn't sound that. I think that they have the better roster if you go position by position, but I think we have the better quarterback, and I'm hoping that that's what comes. I think that's going to be the difference maker.
Yeah, that might be the difference maker down the stretch. Yeah. Hopefully, that'll be the difference maker. Purdy can throw a couple of picks, and we don't turn the ball over. And hopefully, we can do some ball control, running the ball.
Yeah, keep them on the sideline.
And we might have to stay committed to the run for a little bit. But
no hole. We can't start in that. We can't start like we've been starting.
No,
absolutely not.
We can't start in the hole. No.
Yeah,
definitely can't start in the hole.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see next week, guys. Hopefully, we come next week with a victory.
On the road to victory.
Hopefully we can come with a dub tomorrow. Next week.
Yeah.
And we'll just see. We'll have to see.
Yeah. Yeah. We need to go 1-1 these next.
Yeah, we can go 1-1 these next two games, guys. I would be satisfied. We can go 1-1.
Yeah.
If we can just win one of these games between Dallas and San Francisco.
And I don't even care because Dallas is gonna be up for it. But if we beat San Francisco, what happened at Dallas ain't gonna really matter.
And then if we beat Dallas, so either way, we just need one of these wins.
Yeah. Well, all right. I think that about wraps up episode 6.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep, that wraps it up.
Say to the people?
Yep. I want to give a shout out to Quail.
Yeah.
And Mike Merritt. Hold me down, Black. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes.
Again, my name is Deja. This is my dad, Ryan.
That's right.
We are Take 215, and we are out.
Peace.
Go Birds.